Well, summer doesn't officially begin for a couple more weeks, but people are already flocking to Arkansas lakes. Fox 16's Claire Kreitz joins us live now with safety regulations to keep you and your family safe. Claire?
Hey, good morning, Ashley. Yeah, I'm here with Stephanie Wetherington with Arkansas Game and Fish. And what do you need to know before you get out on the lake this summer?
Well, you want to make sure that your boat is properly equipped with all the necessary safety equipment. Number one thing, life jackets. We can't preach enough about life jackets and wearing them. You need to have a U.S. Coast Guard approved wearable type life jacket for everybody on board your boat. If you have children 12 years old or younger, they must wear that life jacket at all times whenever they're in the boat. The other thing is if your boat comes equipped with a kill switch, be sure and wear that whenever you're above idle speed. That way, if for some reason you get thrown out of the boat, it automatically kills the engine so that your boat doesn't circle around and unfortunately run over you, which we see a lot.
I've seen that before.
Yeah, and we call it the circle of death for a reason. Make sure that you have a fire extinguisher if you have enclosed fuel tanks. Hey, if you're born after 1985, make sure you have that boater education safety course prior to operation. That's really going to help you out in the long run.
All right. Well, in the next half hour, we'll talk even more about boater safety. But for now, I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
All right, good advice. Thanks, Claire. Well, as we get closer to the official start of summer, a lot of people are planning to get out on the water.
Fox 16's Claire Kreitz is joining us live this morning from a lake, Lake Hamilton, with what you need to know before you get out on that boat. Good morning, Claire.
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, I'm here with Stephanie again. And okay, we got to talk about weather. We're hearing thunder. We're seeing some lightning. What do you need to look out for before you get out on the water?
Well, one, you might want to watch the weather reports before you head to the lake to make sure, you know, you're going to be good for the day. If you just happen to be already out there and some of these summertime storms in the afternoon or even in the morning pop up, you want to make sure that if you can hear thunder, head to shore, because weather comes up on the lakes and rivers so fast before you even have time to make it to safety, to pull your boat out, you know, to get prepared.
Yeah, and lightning can be a huge concern when you're out on the water.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, especially if you're in a metal flat bottom boat and lightning and water, that's not a situation you want to be in. And we've had some incidents where people have gotten struck by lightning being out on the water.
Oh, wow. So also, when you guys stop a boat, what are you looking for? What do you need them to have?
Well, number one, life jackets. Absolutely life jackets. That's our first priority. Want to make sure that they have their kill switch or using it properly if their boat's equipped with one. Fire extinguishers. Make sure everybody on board the boat, you know, is not partaking in too many alcoholic beverages, especially the operator. Kids, you know, we want to say that kids always have to wear their life jackets because anybody 12 years old and younger has to by law. Now our officers are out there. And of course, we have a program where we can give kids citations for ice cream if they are caught wearing their life jacket. So that's kind of a fun thing that we do. Yeah,
that's super cool. Well, in the next half hour, we'll talk even more about boating safety. But for now, I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Yeah, Ashley wants one of those citations.
Yeah, I'll wear my life
jacket. If you get an ice cream cone out of it, yeah.
Well, summer doesn't officially begin for a couple more weeks, but people are already flocking to Arkansas lakes. Fox 16's Claire Kreitz joins us live now with safety regulations to keep you and your family safe. Claire.
Hey, good morning, Ashley. Yeah, I'm back with Stephanie with Arkansas Game and Fish, and we've talked a lot about what you need before you get out on the water. But what do people need to look out for when they do get out on the water?
Well, obviously, you want to pay attention to what's going on around you. We find that most of our boating accidents are caused by operator inattention. They're either looking on their phones, distracted driving, about the same thing that happens in vehicles. Yeah, just pay attention to the other boaters. Watch your speed. Especially when the water's high, when we've had so much rain, there's a lot of debris in the water that isn't normally there, especially if you're on rivers where that debris can move. We have a lot of boating accidents that people hit under, you know, submerged logs or just objects in the water, and that's never a good thing when you hit something going 70 miles an hour. You're going to stop, your boat's going to stop, and most of the time you're not. So you're going to keep going. Just be careful, watch your speed, and especially on like holiday weekends like we just had, there's so many people out on the water. Be courteous and just slow down, pay attention to other boaters because they may not be looking out for you.
Absolutely, and you touched on this a little bit in the last half hour, but let's talk about if you're the driver, you need to watch how many drinks you're having.
Oh, absolutely. Drivers, 0. You cannot operate under the influence of alcohol or drugs. Same thing as on the road. BWI is the exact same thing as a DWI. If you are operating the boat, abstain for alcoholic beverages until you get back to shore. Now, you know, make sure that if you have adults on board, they can drink. Just make sure that they are within their limits and don't get too wild and crazy, because obviously you don't want to have somebody that's too intoxicated that falls off your boat. Bad things happen there too.
Yeah, definitely some good advice there. We'll talk even more about boater safety in the next half hour, but for now, I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
All right, thanks, Claire. Well, as we get closer to the official start of summer, a lot of people are already planning to get out on the water.
And Fox 16's Claire Kreitz is already there on the water, at least at the water's edge. She's at Lake Hamilton with what you need to know before you get on that boat. Good morning, Claire.
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, I'm back with Stephanie with Arkansas Game and Fish. And what are your biggest tips for boaters as they're getting out on the water this summer?
Yeah, just make sure and give your boat the once over before you get to the water. Make sure you have all your safety equipment, life jackets, fire extinguishers, all of that. And, you know, before we know it, 4th of July is right around the corner. So people are going to really be hitting the waters, watching the fireworks shows. So prior to that, make sure your navigational lights on your boat are in operational order. You got to have the red and green bow light and the white stern light. That is critical, especially during times where you have a mass amount of boats in a small area and everybody wants to leave at the same time. You want to make sure your boat lights work.
Yeah, absolutely. What are some of the biggest mistakes you see from boaters out on the water?
Number one, just not paying attention. Whether it's they're on their phone or they're turned around talking to other people. Who knows? Just operator inattention. And then a lot of the thing is navigational lights at night. They either get out there, forget to turn them on, or turn them on and they don't work. They realize that the bulb's burned out or whatever. And then just speed. Speed is a big factor in a lot of our accidents. People just going way too fast in the conditions. You know, we want everybody to be out there and have a good time, but you don't have to go 80, 90 miles an hour to get to where you're going. Hey, enjoy the lake. It's beautiful out there. Slow down and just enjoy it.
That's great advice. Take it in and enjoy it. All right, I'm going to send it back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Claire.